Well, morning world, and welcome to a dark and damp Tuesday, 17th of December. It's, yeah, not really sort of, I don't know, I'm not feeling the joys of spring. Anyway, I'm off to Wotton in a minute to look at some tree work, which we could do with getting some more in really. So if anybody's thinking about it, local, we could do with a bit more work in. It's gone very quiet since the budget. I don't know if anybody else is feeling that, but yeah, literally since the budget, our phone has just died. So it's just starting to get a little bit worrying now because, you know, I'd like to be able to pay the guys' wages. So anyway, we're going to go look at some work in Yate from an old customer. And then this afternoon we are going to go look at another job in Dursley, providing their home for a new customer. But I'm just checking on you lot before I go. You've got plenty in there. They're happy in there. They got plenty of, I kind of knew there wouldn't be a problem because I filled everything up and did all the bedding last night. So yeah, we're good to go. So before I left the house, I picked up my job book, which is basically my book I put all my notes in for looking at tree stuff. And I don't know if she heard it, saw it, sensed it, but the dog knows if I pick up that book, I'm going out. And it was a case of, it was by the door, then it was by the gate, and it was by the car, and when I went down to the barn, it's a case of, you are not going to go without me. I wouldn't anyway, so. Okay. Oh, I know I've forgotten. I forgot that. And that. They're for me dad. Not for you. You wouldn't like it anyway, because it's minty. So, Dad likes a bit of Fry's chocolate, so the minty stuff. And I think he quite likes a packet of them, so Mrs. P got him some. Should we go? I was lucky, I was just about to leave, and our beekeeper who keeps his hives down the back of our barn just came in and has given me a box full of honey, jars of honey. So that's going to be Christmas presents for people. So apparently it's all honey made by the bees here. And I think there's probably about 10 jars there. So I'm going to give one of them to Dad straight away. I'll keep a couple because I'm quite partial to a bit of honey. I like a bit of honey. And if it's made here as well, yeah, and maybe I'll give one each to the guys because, you know, they have to put up with stingy bees in the summer when we have that angry hive. So, oh, it's Dursley Town Council. Hello.
Hi Ian, it's Anita.
Hello Anita, all right.
Hiya.
Oh, I was just organising a date for us to take down the town council's Christmas tree. So we put it up for them every year and we take it down for them every year, but we have to kind of, they have to have all the lights taken, the electrician's got to declare it safe and blah, 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 and all that before we can take the tree down. So, but yeah, so we've got a date now for January to take down Dursley Town Council's Christmas tree, and I dare say we'll probably be doing Wotton's on the same day. So, right then, it is 11:36. I told the customer we'd be there about midday, so, and I've got 10 miles to go. We had better crack on. Oops, can't park it there, mate. Right, we just stopped off at the Kingswood Spar shop on the way to Wotton because I had a message this morning from one of you folks who had sent me some beer from, was it the Otter Brewery? Unfortunately, right this second, I can't remember your name, but yeah, I called into the post office and told him what I was looking for, and she goes, saw that, Farmer P. So yeah, that was no problem. She knew exactly who I was. Anyway, calling into the post office has delayed me a bit. I've now only got 12 minutes to get to Yate. If I get there for the time. I said I'll be there before midday. Doable, but with a case of beer in the back and a load of jars of honey, I might be a couple of minutes late. 1 or 2. You don't want that, son. Right, just leaving me Dad's place. So I've left him in his chair with a packet of opened after 8 mints, because he likes them, and a jar of honey, and a box of assorted fries, minty things, because he likes that sort of stuff as well. So he's quite happy. We're now going home because it is 1:15, and I'm going to have my lunch. There it is again, just peeping through. That's the second time today I've actually seen the sun. Sort of. Oh, you trying to tell me something? Hello. Hello. Right, okay, so dinner is done. It was a late lunch because I didn't get my free dad till quite late. And I thought I rang up the next customer. I said, oh, all right, to come over and look at your work. He goes, you couldn't do it after 3:30, could you? I said, well, I can, but not much past 3:30 because it'd be dark. He goes, oh yeah, that's true. So I've got 45 minutes to kill. So I'm just going to wander down and check my animals, because that's a good way to kill time. And then I'll think about what I can do for maybe 25 minutes. Yeah. So the honest truth of it is I'm struggling to find some content for today, and I get days like that when kind of nothing much happens. You know, we're the same as everybody else. I mean, it must happen to you. There must be days when nothing much happens. We were busy yesterday, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have lots of video to edit from yesterday because I was busy yesterday. But because I did it all yesterday, there's kind of not so much today. And it is so dark. And when I went in the workshop and I thought, oh, maybe I'll have a go at putting the hydraulics back together on the dumper. And I thought, well, no, I just want a bit more light. Because where the dumper is, I can't start it. If I start it and the pumps go in, I'm just going to chuck oil everywhere. So I can't move it and put it in the daylight. I've got to do it where it is. So let's have a slightly brighter day. I said that was a rainy day job. It's not. It's a brighter day job when I've actually got some daylight. I know I can put a light in there, and I can. Yeah. I know it's excuses. Right. Okay. So their bed will last until tomorrow. I haven't got to worry about that. I will probably put another bale in that this afternoon because I reckon they are going to chew their way through that, and it will not last until tomorrow. So it might only be one bale in there. It looks like they've more or less got through the bale up the far end. So maybe it'd be one bale up there and one bale down here, but do you know what? I can do that later on after dark. There's no rush for that. Right now they've got plenty. Plenty. So I suppose I could go on to some of the comments that we've made or have been made about me putting another 20-foot extension on this, and people saying, oh, good idea and probably more useful than concrete, which I think actually it is. And although I said I would do this as a machinery shed, it would be a case of, it could be anything. I could end up putting straw in here for them and maybe putting machinery in that big shed there. Maybe we can squeeze some space into there, that I can put all my kit in there. There's a bit more space. Or the other idea was maybe all the firewood that I've got in that shed, maybe rather than storing firewood in there, we move that out and put that, say, in there, where it's got more draft, it would dry better. And then we put the machinery in there. Whatever happens, if we put up another piece of roof, we'll fill it. There's no doubt about that. We will fill it. And it's just a case of we may have a little think about them. We could have more options of, well, maybe I won't put machinery in there. maybe it will be firewood in there, or straw in there, or even hay in there, and free up some space somewhere else to maybe just make the operation a bit more efficient. Because right now, if I want to get a bag of logs out today or on a weekend, I've got to move 3 or 4 trucks out of the way of that shed to get to the logs. Well, the thing is, if I put those bits of kit in there, they're just going to sit there for 4 months. I haven't got to mess about, they just sit there. So kind of the way I think about it, the more I think about it, it is probably better that I put this kit in that shed, have a good sort out in there, clean it in there, put it in there, and fill that up with something else. Straw, logs, whatever. I mean, I said to the guys that in the summer months when we're not using this yard, they could do wood processing in there. Well, that would make sense then to put the firewood in that side. All I got to do is leave enough of a tunnel down that edge of there that if I want to feed through the feed barriers, I can. Yeah, something like that. Look at the state of it, okay? Wherever they can, they will just destroy stuff. I put a nice new piece of insulation around there and they just chewed it off because they're blooming vandals. They've chewed the top off that as well. Now, I've tried to protect it as best I can. Failed. Miserably. Right, that is a job for later on as well. I might decant some of these rubber mats actually. I can take them up on the skids here and I'll put them in the new cherry picker. I'm hoping they're going to fit inside that aluminium tray on the back. If we can put 3 or maybe 4 each side, so we'll have 6 or 8 of those on, we can carry all the time. I don't think it's going to put us overweight. I think that's a good idea. All right, how are you looking down here? Yeah, they're not too bad in there. It's getting a bit mucky in there. We've had that fine, drizzly, constantly rain that doesn't go down, it sort of floats about. So, yeah, tomorrow will be a good clean out in there. So I did spend a bit of time today on YouTube and I watched some of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Some of the event held in London with Ollie Blogs and the other guys. I think it was at London Palladium. As I understand it, the Lloyd Webber family very kindly let them use that venue to put on their little event. And although I don't get political, I did enjoy and appreciate the Conservative leader's comments and input. I thought she made a pretty good job of it actually. With the questions afterwards and everything else, I thought she did okay. And I think we're all going to be holding her to her word, because if she wants to stand any chance of getting into power next time, over and above Mr. Farage, we've got to believe her. All right, and right now I do. We'll see where that goes. We've got one of our new edition birds of prey flying over us. GoPro's not really going to pick it up very well, but that up there, over and above the light of the cameras, is a red kite. 10 years ago, unheard of round here, never seen one. You had to go over to Wales or up north or miles away to catch a red kite. Now they're pretty common. So I can't make up my mind if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't mind a few, but it's like the buzzards and everything else. We don't get any hares out here. That's partially because we have too many people out there with dogs, my wife included sometimes. But yeah, the young leverets, if you haven't got any long grass anywhere, they got nowhere to hide, and the birds of prey just pick them off. So, and what they don't get the bloody caravan crew, let's say that, they go and pick them off with blinking long dogs. So hares here are protected. You can't shoot them, you can't chase them. And if I catch you doing either, I'll be really cross.